Welcome to IAH 241E, Creativity and Social Entrepreneurship. I'm going to assume that at this point you've watched the course overview video on D2L and look carefully over the syllabus also posted to D2L. If you haven't yet, pause this video, go do those two things, then come back. In this video, I focus on our week one work and I focus on introducing our project one assignment. The focus of our first week of class is what is social entrepreneurship? All of our class materials are here on D2L. If you head into the content area, you'll see a folder with our class syllabus and a course overview video, a folder with course assignments and the drop boxes where you'll submit your work, a folder of info about and a link to PackBack, and then a folder for each week of class. If we head into week one, you'll see, of course, links to the video you're watching right now. You'll also find two readings. The first is a chapter that offers a great discussion of social entrepreneurship and social enterprise. The next reading is to choose two TED Talks about social entrepreneurship, and each of the articles linked includes links to 4 or 5. So there are about 14 TED Talks you can choose from. Again, watch two. Those are our two readings for the week. Next, we have a case. It's a homegrown MSU example of social entrepreneurship. I've provided links to 3 short pieces about students who created a jaundice treatment blanket. One's an article, one's an NPR story, and one is a news segment. We have 2 sparks. The first is a list of 22 social entrepreneurship ideas. The second spark is a list introducing the 2019 Schwab Foundation Social Entrepreneur Awardees. Take a look at a few and read about their projects. Together, the readings, the case, and the spark should provide us with some working definitions of and examples of social entrepreneurship and help you prep to work on project one, which I'll talk about just a bit later. And every week of class will be set up similarly to this. Overview video, readings, a case or two, a spark or two. Before I provide an overview of our Project One work, I want to talk a bit about the entrepreneurial culture at MSU right now and how the College of Arts and Letters is contributing. In May 2014, our past provost, June Uat, brought together about 60 of us, staff and faculty, to talk about entrepreneurship at MSU. At the time, MSU had a lot of exciting entrepreneurial initiatives going on, but they were happening in different units, different departments. We didn't have a home for entrepreneurship at MSU. At a place as big as MSU, the provost knew we needed to better coordinate efforts. One of the things she challenged us to do was to engage at least 2,000 undergraduate students each year in entrepreneurial activities by fall 2016. After this big group meeting, a smaller group of about 10 of us met during that summer to talk about how we could do so, and we came up with a set of goals. First, we decided we needed to rally university-wide resources, like the Hatch, the Hive, the Creativity Exploratory I used to run, and more. Second, we developed and proposed a university-level minor in entrepreneurship and innovation that launched in fall 2016. Third, we developed experiences as part of the minor, which allows students to pursue and get recognized for entrepreneurial projects, even in classes that aren't otherwise focused on entrepreneurship, and on co-curricular activities beyond classes like Startup Weekend. Fourth, we argued that every college should have an e-advisor, an academic advisor available to specifically work with students on their entrepreneurial interests. We also created an e-core for community-based learning and projects. Entrepreneurship can't just happen on campus. It has to happen across communities, cities, states, and countries. We suggested the development of a university-level board to oversee entrepreneurial projects and activities. We also suggested that MSU work with K-12 stakeholders and get middle and high school teachers and kids involved. And finally, recognizing that students can't be entrepreneurs just by taking a couple of classes, we suggested a huge range of co-curricular projects and opportunities. So that was the larger university broad perspective. My next step was to convince faculty in my college, Arts and Letters, that the humanities are critical to entrepreneurship. A lot of humanities faculty have an old school notion that entrepreneurship happens only in business, and it's always and only anchored to capitalism. I argued, however, that we have a strong role to play where social and cultural and entrepreneurship especially is concerned. I describe social and cultural entrepreneurship to my colleagues as ways in which we can pursue innovative solutions to social projects, especially what we call wicked problems. Wicked problems are issues like poverty and obesity, or honestly, pandemics. No one field or profession can address them alone. We have to work together to help solve them. I anchored social and cultural entrepreneurship to art and storytelling and contributions to creative and cultural economy building. And we'll talk next week more about cultural entrepreneurship specifically. I shared with faculty examples from our College of Humanities students already engaged in entrepreneurial work, like Kalia Stapleton, who has since graduated, but in 2014, she was a senior in apparel and textile design and working to develop clothing lines for women transitioning from college to professional life. So literally one day you're shuffling to class in yoga pants and a sweatshirt, and the next day you're expected to be wearing a blouse, dress pants, and dress shoes. That's a huge economic and cultural shift for young women specifically. I also talked about Phil Deaton and Ian Michael Terry, who were both undergrads in 2014 and were doing some internal entrepreneurial work to change people's ideas and practices about web accessibility by consulting with departments on campus. The work they did back then helped to make it so spaces like D2L are potentially equitable and accessible learning spaces for all students, including those who might have hearing or sight-related issues. This past semester, the entire Entrepreneurship and Innovation Initiative became the Burgess Institute. I had the opportunity about 2 weeks ago to meet online with some of the Burgess family and talk about what the Institute will be doing, offering, and becoming in the coming years. The Entrepreneurship and Innovation minor, which is open to all students in all majors as part of the Burgess Institute. As of spring semester, more than 600 students were part of the minor, making it one of the largest minors on campus. In the initiative, there's support for students to model a business and find support in all steps of imagining, developing, planning, and launching a business. One of the best new sources of support for doing so is the Discovery Program through the Burgess Institute, which offers workshops and one-on-one support. And the next step is the Launch Program, to move from discovery and development into support and seed funding to launch your business. The Burgess Institute also supports the Innovate State Speaker Series, which invites successful Spartan entrepreneurs back to campus to share their experiences. You can view some of the speakers' talks recorded online and listen to podcasts with speakers on the eShip website. And each of our creativity cases this semester are MSU social entrepreneurial projects. You'll hear more about projects like Bright Bites, Linco, Vade Nutrition, and the York Project. You can read more about these amazing resources on the MSU Burgess Institute website, eship.msu.edu, which also provides links to and information about accessing resources, even now while we're in online classes and in a COVID context. One of the things you'll notice right away about MSU's orientation to entrepreneurship is that we don't just want to cultivate and support students to go out and launch new businesses. Not all of you will do that, and that's fine. Rather, we want to engage students in what we call an entrepreneurial mindset. Bruce Bockenheimer, a professor of management and director of the Entrepreneurship Lab at Pace University, situates entrepreneurship as much broader than creating a new business. He says entrepreneurship is about a particular orientation to the world, focused on imagining new ways to solve problems and create value. At MSU, we anchor having an entrepreneurial mindset to attitudes, skills, and behaviors that include having initiative, being self-directed, taking smart risks, being flexible, being adaptable, being creative, and more. Having an entrepreneurial mindset isn't just related to launching a new enterprise or idea. We also want to support students to make change within existing organizations, to engage creativity, innovation, and entrepreneurial mindset in an existing business. And that's called intrapreneurship. One definition of intrapreneurs situates them as employees within large companies who are provided freedom, time, and support to create new products, services, or systems. And a great example related to this definition is Google. Google encourages employees to spend about 20% of their work time thinking about projects and ideas that will benefit and innovate at Google. And Gmail was born this way. The system was imagined way back in 2001 and finally launched in 2004. The problem that Gmail was addressing at the time was that no email product back then had a good search engine built in. And no other web-based email system allows users to actually save their mail. Another slightly different definition of entrepreneur suggests that an entrepreneur is a person within an organization who uses entrepreneurial thinking to make change within the existing institution. And Facebook is a great example of an organization that inspires and supports entrepreneurship. Facebook regularly hosts in-house hackathons where employees are encouraged to devote a chunk of time, say 24 hours, to creating and prototyping a new Facebook idea or product. The awesome button was a Facebook hackathon idea, which became the like button. Last year, there were more than 4 million likes per minute on Facebook. As of last month, the like button had been clicked more than 1.5 trillion times. A socially engaged example of entrepreneurship is TJ DiCaprio's work at Microsoft. She launched a project where Microsoft units across the 100 countries where Microsoft does its work engage in actively reducing Microsoft's carbon emissions through an internal carbon fee. Each unit in the company has to be innovative in their carbon use or they get assessed a fee. The fees are then invested in Microsoft's environmentally engaged initiatives like supporting wind farms where their data operation centers are located in India and China. Again, this week's focus is what is social entrepreneurship, and I've introduced some of the work for this week already, the readings, the case, and the sparks that you're going to want to spend some time with. Your other work for the week is to post to Packback one question and a response to a question someone else has asked, posted by midnight this Sunday, May 17th. I want to introduce Project One, which is a website, and it's going to be due at noon Eastern on Sunday, May 24th. Because I'm asking you to create a website for Project One, I created a small website for the assignment. If you go to Content in D2L, and then head to Assignments and Dropboxes, you can find and link to the Project One assignment. On the website you create, you'll have 3 pages. A page where you introduce yourself, a page where you offer a definition of social entrepreneurship, and a page where you describe an example of social entrepreneurship in your field or discipline. There are lots of details and tips here on the website, including the assignment overview, the assignment goals, details about the specific requirements, and some technical considerations. I've also posted here on the Project One assignment site a few examples. You can see example biography statements, a couple of example definitions, and 2 examples of entrepreneurship in your field or discipline. These examples aren't necessarily templates, but review them carefully. They're helpful models for what you might produce for Project One. A few important considerations for Project One. First, don't just copy and paste quotes and examples into your webpage. Explain and situate the work you include, as you can see in the examples from the assignment website. Second, start with this week's readings and materials. Summarize chunks of the readings you found important or include examples from them. Draw on the week's readings and materials for definitions and examples, and know that you may have to do some outside research too. Finally, I know some of you maybe haven't created a web page before, and that's okay. This class is a place to play, explore, and experiment. There's some suggestions for getting started and some tools you might use in the Project One webpage link from D2L. Please email me if you have any questions about our week 1 readings, materials, or Project One work, or about any aspects of our class this semester. We'll work on Project One this week and next, and then the URL for your website will be due uploaded to D2L by noon on Sunday, May 24th. Your work this week is to spend time with the readings, cases, and sparks, and post to Packback by midnight this Sunday, May 17th. If you have any questions as you work, again, reach out to me. Happy week 1.